Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 23rd of November. So let's just have a look at the risk events that we've got coming out today first. Sorry, I've got another chart package come up there. Right, okay, so let's just do a quick refresh on this. He says, hopefully. So today, well, we should have already had that out. 425, yep, it's all already out. So we've had a 0.75% increase. Official rate, New Zealand dollar. The statements and the policies are all out. That's all as expected. The only thing that could have gone wrong there, I say wrong for traders, would have maybe been if it just literally went by 0.5% instead of 3/4, but that's fed in as was. Today then we've got the services and manufacturing data coming out from Europe, UK and US. So some medium, I would say, value data. Create a bit of volatility this morning for sure, and then this afternoon when we get the US data out. But it's variable. We'll see how it moves this time, but that's right the way through the day there. Let's just check for speakers. We got some ECB speakers then at 8 and 9 o'clock, morning in 9 o'clock. We've got aside of that, you've got German finance minister at 2. That can move things a little bit when he speaks. So, but in general, there, what we're seeing with a lot of the speakers is pretty same. So, I'm not too worried about them at the moment. Most of them agree on the same principles. So, last thing on that list there was the FOMC minutes at 7 o'clock this evening. There we go, don't forget those. Now, I don't think anyone would particularly trade too much to them. They can cause some volatility as they come out, but we've got to remember that just every member of the FOMC have spoken by now, and their key points will be out there. So that little old buzz was for some news. Anyway, we'll look at that in a moment. Right, let's get on and look at the markets. We'll start off looking at the euro dollar. He says, so I've been doing a bit of an adjusting here. Let's just start off on the daily picture then. So from a daily perspective, what we've got here then, it's got a bit ugly really, but it's starting to get back. We had the bar yesterday. Gradually yesterday we saw this sort of move over. I have been hanging on to the bullish idea on the euro. Well, for me it's starting to go back that way. It's not the cleanest of moves when you come to this 60-minute picture. It's not the most clean of moves, but it is moving in the right direction. Maybe if we get another retrace, that's fine. But it's gone back as I expected it to do actually last week and the beginning of this week, and it's sort of gone over further than I expected. But anyway, it is looking more positive there at the moment, and has some scope for continuation. It's just getting into it now. Okay, that's euro. The pound. The pound's still in its consolidation phase here. It really is struggling to get out of that consolidation for now, but this morning might be it, or today might be it. I'm just sort of looking with sort of this 4-hourly chart just around the sort of previous highs there. It's not far off those. If we could start attacking those, well then I think it's got more scope. The thing is, it didn't actually pulled back so far as the euro, and but it's not really, well, I don't know, it's not doing too bad, and probably in points wise it's probably not far behind, if not the same. But it is going to come across some resistance up here. It certainly caught it last time, so I would be wary of any movement into that sort of area, but I am sitting here mildly bullish. US dollar yen, well, drawn this, and it's sort of got this sort of bear flag, and it's already starting to take a little kick through it. It's not the best or cleanest, but it's looking all right. We'll see in a few minutes time how it goes, but I like the downside potential. Again, it's shaping up. It's put lower highs in up here. It's sort of moving quite nicely. So yeah, lower highs all the way through. That's fine. So moving on quite nicely. 4 hourly, it will give us a bit of a pivot swing. It's given us this nice movement here. If we get a continuation, we could be at least down to the daily S1, maybe further. Okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar bull flag sort of territory, and again kicking off and moving in the right sort of direction for that. I'm less bullish on the Aussie, but it will follow, and it will run the same towards as the euro, etc. So it's just short of its weekly pivot still hasn't got up there, but through the daily R1 and the R2 looks like a very promising the way it's gone. It's not even come back and hit the daily pivot. The probability of the R2 is much higher. So higher lows through there, same sort of picture as we're seeing in the euro, etc. So it really is a dollar weakening case through. Finally, US dollar CAD. Well, we've got the lower highs on this, so I haven't read the news in detail regarding the oh sorry, it's New Zealand dollar, not the CAD, beg your pardon, I'm getting the two mixed up here. We'll leave that alone. It has again put a bit of a pivot swing in on the dailies there actually, and to me looking like it's got some further downside. We were in a trade short on it yesterday, which did okay, but looks like it should have been a longer term hold. Just going back on it, it does just look like, again, it's similar to the euro and the other currencies. It's marching down there, so it's a possible. New Zealand dollar, after all that news, barely any movement really, but it's shifting up there. It's been holding on better than most of the currencies here. It's a bit more like the pound actually. It's been holding around the highs there, and it's pushing up, and again it's back into its previous highs there. Might just struggle a little bit. Right, let's switch markets and go over to the indices, and we'll start off looking, though, before we look at the indices, we'll look at gold. So gold, same picture here we're seeing. This is dailies, of course. Yesterday a bit weaker, but the same flag patterns are sort of sitting there here, and we're seeing quite a reversal kicking off this morning. Maybe there's some more upside potential now. It doesn't look so good on the lower time frames here at the moment. I don't know, maybe there's probably some divergence. A break above around 1750 on these prices I'm looking at might see a continuation and a push up more. Oil, Western Texas, well, pitched up and bitty on this data feed I've got here. It says continuous, but it doesn't look very continuous to me. I'll look for a different source of it, but it's actually still looking on the sort of bearish side of things. It might pick up, but it's really at the moment the shorter time frames looking quite soft, and as I say, quite bearish. Got these bear flags running through it. Could just continue. Looking at the equity markets, then a brief look on a high level of the CSI 300. There's still concerns whether China will lock down further, and this is having a sort of a knock-on impact across some of the currencies, like the Aussie dollar is having a bit of a hit on, but it's certainly on the equity markets. It's still not looking wonderful. Although a bit of a bull flag, bear flag here, because you've got the big bear flag sitting there. But then in the shorter term here, you've got it's potentially a bull flag. If it starts pushing up above the 15 next day or so, well, it looks like the bull flag, the upside's got more run on that. Most of these equity markets have got some potential. The Nikkei, well, it's gapped up, not held on to its gains, but it's gapped up and moved up and looking more positive. Again, it was stalled into yesterday. We've seen this over the last few days, not really going anywhere. Just a tad of happiness, joy out there. The Nifty 50 gapped up, pulled back a little bit at the moment, but we'll see. The overall picture is quite bullish on that. Going to look at the US 500, which is a broker's version of the ES, because the ES hasn't got a direct feed on it, it's a delayed feed. So just looking at a feed of price action as much as anything else. As I mentioned many a time, each broker uses their own version of the, call it the US 500 or something else, of the S&P. So the pattern's very similar, and just got better price action on this. So again, a bullish consolidation pattern here. Moved off quite nicely yesterday, started its run, and already looking rather positive at the moment, just on the shorter time frames. You just see its higher low coming through into the 4 hourly this week. And well, yesterday, good solid day there. Have got untouched daily pivots here. We will have divergence sitting around up here. I'm sure there'll be traders trying to go short against it with the prior highs. There might be more selling volume coming in up to the neckline, up to the bodies of the candles up here. But if it can carry on the way it's going, it will be pushing for a near-term high. He thinks it looks positive. The Dow, similar picture actually, it's similar but better, but pushed out here. Again, solid old day. It has got the risk of some resistance though at the bodies of those candles from way back in August. So, but otherwise looking so much more solid. Just coming down the time frames, just see how consolidated it's been. Yeah, it's had its little correction, but it's into another solid wave at the moment. A nice impulse wave seems to be kicking through. Nasdaq, the weaker one of the bunch, may play a bit of catch up. We might see it start catching up a little bit. Although preference would be possibly on the others, although more pointed towards the others on the long side, playing the longs. Having said that, it might kick off. Just quickly, the CAC is again solid and moving. The DAX would concentrate that a little bit more on this, but you'd see talked about it yesterday, trying to get up there. Well, it's got up there, got into those highs, had a correction off those, but looking now more and more likely it's going to push up there. Could continue in this slowish pattern. If it was going to push up quickly, well, we might have seen that it's the Asian session, but we might have seen it through in the prior session. But we could see some more consolidation sitting where it is at the moment. Things, it's not that a bullish market. The FTSE, we just clicked in, it's already positive and up. Good day yesterday, pushing out through the highs. It's really leading the way to a degree. The Dow's back into its August highs, but seeing some really nice movements on the FTSE. Again, consolidation, didn't pull back so far as the other markets when it corrected, and it's just gone better than some of them now. Sorry, I'll answer a couple of things in a moment. Right, let's get on, and whoops, I can do it from here. Let's quick look for those poor old people, but it's looking better. Let's come back to the dailies on this. They look good on the hourlies. I'm sure people will be back in trading this, and the moon's going to be in sight soon again. But to be fair, Bitcoin has all the benefits when all the other markets are going against the dollar, but it doesn't really have a lot of the benefits in terms of real movement, etc. But you can see Bitcoin there. Why am I not on the? That's it. So Bitcoin there doing having a bit of a bounce. It might be opportunities just to sell back into these, but I am still bearish on the US dollar overall, so we could get deeper bounces, providing that, well, we've got the FOMC out later. Who knows? The minutes might do something to these again, but similar picture through here. They're sort of I'm sure there'll be the Instagrammers out there telling you to buy it, and now's the time. But if I was buying, I'd rather be buying currencies, likes of the someone's mentioned the euro there in terms of if I get the right list, that'd be good. In terms of, it's already gone this morning. Yep, I think it's a case of patience as well. It's pulling off a little bit in this current hour, so who knows, we might just get something back. It'll come back to the 8 o'clock pivots and maybe a bit further, so we get a bit of a retrace to look to buy into. But yep, gone a little bit there. Anyway, I wish you a great day's trading, and I will catch you in the morning. Bye for now.